It's great because, it's almost effortless. You sell somebody something, then their uncle, then their sister, then their
Right.
neighbor. I mean, they tell everybody,
Word
and
of mouth.
they talk about the experience, and I don't have to look for business. Business comes to me.
Welcome to Real Estate Success Partner. We're your hosts, Devin Dubuc,
David Nguyen.
and we're here to talk about how to have great success in every market. Hey, today, guys, we've got a guest from David Nguyen. Who'd you bring in here today, brother?
Man, a dynamic couple from, I believe it's Louisiana. It's Gabriella or Gabby and Lance. The dynamic duo that is killing it in this real estate market, even in these crazy times.
Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Hey, thanks for coming on. Thanks. So, who goes first? Who are we asking questions first?
I can go first.
Yeah, right. Because I think y'all met Gabby first, so we'll let her go first.
I love it. Let's go with Gabby. All right, Gabby. So, we know who you guys are. We've been following your success, but our followers don't always know, and we think it's important to kind of give them a little history about you guys. So, Gabby, where are you from originally?
So actually, I was born in Honduras. Born there. My dad actually went to Honduras and met my mother there, and then spent up to age 3 there. And then I was raised in Miami for a while there, lived there, and we moved in '96. We moved to Florida, and then in 2012 we made the move here to Louisiana.
Very cool. Very cool. So from Honduras to Florida. No, it was Honduras to Florida?
Yep. And then to Louisiana.
Right.
And then to Louisiana. And we hear that often. A lot of the times the South American, Central American countries, the first stop always happens to be Florida, right?
Or Texas.
Yes.
Yeah, Texas too. Or California.
Right.
All the southern states. Yeah, good stuff. So how about you, Lance? Are you from Honduras as well?
Right. I should know enough Spanish now to speak with her, but I know
18 years and we're still trying.
No, I know poquito Espanol. A little bit. I grew up in Florida, Fort Walton Beach, Destin area. That's where I grew up. If you know where that is, the Panhandle.
That's
Florida.
awesome. We do.
Yeah, that's the dream place, I guess most people say. But when you live there, you don't go to the beach as much as you think. But grew up in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. Moved to Louisiana 2012. We moved over here and started real estate in Florida in 2010 for a couple of years. And then my brother's an agent in this area as well. And he asked me, he said, "You want to come join my team?" At that time, I joined his team and came over here. And that's how I started my success here. And then Gabby joined in with me at a later.
So kind of jumped into the family business that became the family business, right?
Right.
I love it. Yeah, and David and I are very familiar with that Destin area. That's been his long-term vacation spot with his family. And I actually went there for the first time last year. We went down to 30A. Absolutely beautiful down there. Really, really amazing.
It definitely has grown a lot for sure.
Yeah, it's too packed for me.
It's funny you say that, Lance. I've been taking my family there for darn near 10 years, and we won't go back now because it's just too packed. It's ridiculous. It's 35 minutes to drive 3 miles. During the summer hiatus.
See, I skipped this.
Yeah, we go back to enjoy time with our family. We don't even really leave the small little area that we usually go to. We don't go out.
Unless you're locals and know all the little back roads, then you have to sit in traffic for a while.
I love it. So you guys are out there in Louisiana, and you joined forces with your brother originally. Are you guys still working with him on his team today?
No, I don't. I decided to leave his team. Was that late 16, and I joined. Gabby had just started getting into the business in 17. And I joined a team that she was on temporarily. And I told her, I said, why are we going to teams anymore? I said, we can do this on our own. So in 17, we decided to kind of split off all teams and make our own little husband-wife gig.
That's awesome. I love that. So did that cause any family feud when you left the family business?
No. I think he understood because I was so successful as a buyer's agent on his team that he knew I was going to be fine if I left, his team. So I told him, I said, I think it's time for me to go. Plus, Granted, he was getting some of my commission out of every deal because he was the team leader. Right. So I was like, I'm tired of giving my commission away to my brother all the time. But yeah, he taught me a lot. I got to give him credit. He got me in the business and got me very successful. So I give him a lot of credit.
Yeah, he was in a big multi-million-dollar team, and then I was also in a pretty big multi-million-dollar team. So I mean, we as far as buyers agents, I mean, we mastered it. Yeah. If a lead comes in, even if it's a cold call, 90% of the time we get that lead.
That's awesome.
Yeah, let's talk about y'all's team format. That's what our audience wants to know. I mean, you guys run a really successful team, and there's so many moving parts on your team. What does that look like? Like, is Lance the buyer's agent? Are you the listing agent? Do you have other team members, that transaction coordinators and so forth? Talk us a little about your setup and how y'all operate.
So I think the reason we work so well, for one, is, this is a team effort. If I can't do paperwork, Lance is showing, or sometimes if I'm showing, I'm doing the paperwork. But most of the time we actually, I think, beat a lot of other agents to the table, because while I'm showing, he's doing the contract, or vice versa. If he's showing, I'm doing the contract already before they're even done, that offer's already been sent.
Almost literally by the time we're leaving that showing with that client that says, hey, I want to go ahead and make an offer, the other person, myself or her, is at the house writing it up. So within a few minutes, 30 minutes or less, the offer's written.
I think, the way we do our things is it runs very smoothly. I don't pay for a transaction coordinator. I'm the transaction coordinator. Well, we both are. We do our own transaction coordination. We do the inspections. We do the appraisal. I mean, we do everything in order. It goes pretty smoothly, pretty fast. We don't kind of let it sit on the back burner, and then, because when you're dealing with a lot of clients at the same time, it gets hard, and I don't want to ever get behind or miss something.
Yeah, we're very fast flowing, if that makes sense. So we put the offer in.
It's important.
We get the offer in, we negotiate the offer. As soon as it's under contract, we're calling our buyer, and we let them know this up front. Right. We let them know up front that as soon as we get a contract, I need you to write that deposit check, and also I'm going to set up this inspection. So we get things flowing so quickly, so there's no downtime. The lender gets his information.
That's perfect.
As soon as we get the contract, he gets the contract.
Right.
So it's very fast moving.
Especially nowadays, I think, with the market has shifted and changed a little bit. To where I don't want, a buyer wasting time if this property is not going to work out, or I know the insurance is something they can't afford. Well, we stop right there and move on to something else.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and Gabby, right now with your lead source, what are y'all doing for leads? That's what all the realtors want to know, because we know brokers just don't give leads hardly anymore.
Right.
How are y'all generating leads?
So we do a little bit of everything. We have some paid leads through, like Zillow, Realtor.com, those UpNest, those kind of things. We do get a lot of repeat business. I work very heavily with the Hispanic community here. 9 out of 10 people that are out there looking are calling me. We don't have a lot of Hispanic realtors in this area, so I'm pretty blessed to get a lot of that business.
Yeah, and that's the big thing awesome. Right now. You were saying how we get our business. So honestly, Realtor.com is one of our we've been dealing with Realtor for years. And when the market was, the last 5 years, the market was super hot with those kind of leads. So we would get, during COVID, we were wanting to be, a lot of agents didn't want to work. We did.
Yeah.
And in 2020, we killed it. We had so many leads coming in, we were giving leads away because we just had so many coming in. So at that time, Realtor.com cold leads were really the thing to have. Now it's kind of shifted, and that's a tough thing because we're so used to cold business. But that's where she has now picked up the Hispanic community, and really keep us going in this train.
It's great because it's almost effortless. You sell somebody something, then their uncle, then their sister, then their neighbor. They tell everybody, and they talk about the experience, and I don't have to look for business. Business comes to me.
Yeah, so we do a lot of business together, and that's something that my team has a bilingual staff, and I tell people all the time, if you have the benefit of being able to speak 2 languages, the cultural differences is tremendous. First of all, once you capture one person, you have their entire sphere of influence. It's amazing, and because there's a trust factor in other cultures. Once they trust you financially, they just trust you. There's no question. You say, "Hey, sign here," they sign there. Blindly, because they trust you so much.
Right.
Well, let's talk about that too, because there's another statistic. Yeah, there's another statistic out there right now, and that's 53% of the homeowners in America today are of Hispanic descent, right? So you definitely have a level up on a lot of the other competitors out there that are not bilingual, because that's a big part of the market share in 2023. So while other folks are having some of those struggles because they're having to reinvent how they do business, you've got a great pipeline of resources to tap into, and I'm sure you're doing good stuff with your follow-up on those past customer databases as well, which is how you guys are continuing to originate and bring in new borrowers.
Right.
Yes. We usually put them on a 5-year plan, which is great.
What I was going to say is, going back to that little team aspect that you originally asked about, how we run this team. We don't have the traditional team like we were on at one point, where you have 6 or 7 or 8 people there. You have one specific person doing transaction coordinator, one buyer's agent, one listing. We're pretty much it in a nutshell. However, we got smart, and these leads that are coming in, if we can't handle them, we do have, I call it a team, referral partners. However, it's more like a team. We have about 3 other agents, buyer agents, that we have a structure of a commission structure. So if we can't handle something, we just, or we get a lead in, just say I don't get them on the phone. Well, I want somebody to get them on the phone, because I paid for one, but I paid for the lead.
That's right.
And for 2, I would like to help another agent out, which is the problem. I will say, I think that's a problem in this business, because so many agents are, I don't want to say backstabbers, but there's a lot of people in this business that it would be great for all of us to share the wealth. And that's what Gabby and I try to do. So we get a lead, we can't get them on the phone. I'm immediately texting 2 to 3 other agents that same lead. If we can't get them on the phone, at least they can. And if they secure the business, I still will get, I guess, a piece of the pie in the long run. So we're helping other agents and hopefully not dropping the ball on a lead that we've already paid for. That's kind of how our team is structured.
What you're saying is that you're going to make sure that when somebody comes in, somebody's springing to action, and if you can't get that person on the phone real time, you've got some other support people out there that you're helping share that wealth with. And if they're going to jump on it, they're going to give them great service the same way you guys would. And at the end of the day, you guys are going to share a little bit of piece of that pie, because you're the one that generated the business.
That's how we're doing.
You just needed some help to get them the right way.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. I love it. Well, another question we want to ask, guys, and we talk about Louisiana. Louisiana's a decent sized state. What area do you guys serve? What's your primary market area?
So we, over here, they call them parishes, not cities or counties. So it's basically mainly St. Tammany Parish. You have Washington Parish. Of course, you have New Orleans and all those parishes over there. There's another one called Tangipahoa Parish and Washington Parish. So, it's a big span. We basically work from what you call Baton Rouge all the way up to Slidell, and of course also the South Shore.
So greater New Orleans area is what the word is. Basically.
Right.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And, what does your average homeowner look like there, right? Do you get a lot of vacationees, or is it all local market? What's that marketplace look like for those out there that don't know Louisiana the way that you guys do? Who are you serving?
Yeah, a little bit of everything. I would say a lot of first-time buyers. There's other ones that you have to be very particular with, because you have to hold their hand through the whole process. A lot of military, a lot of people from the oil industry with petroleum moving around. So we get a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of cash buyers from other
Very cool.
states. A lot of people from California. They come over with cash. We do a lot of transactions sight unseen. It's surprising how many deals people do sight unseen, but that's where the skill of being a successful agent and somebody that's been around for a while can, I guess, if you want to say, educate that buyer, even though a lot of those cash buyers have been there, done that.
Yeah.
We earn the trust with our people to where we can almost go out and find them the house if they're not here and do all the transactions sight unseen.
But let's touch on that a little bit. I'm a buyer out there. I don't live in Louisiana, but I know that's where I'm destined to be, and I can't get out there to look at properties. How is that going to work when I'm reaching out to Lance and Gabby? What's that process look like? How do you help guide me into that home?
Well, I think the most important thing is, education. I want to be able to know what they're looking for, what areas are they looking for, what's their price range. But I think education is a big deal. Even, people that have bought before, maybe they bought 20, 30 years ago. Well, the market's very different. The process is very different nowadays. So it's just getting, to really take the time to listen to that person. I always tell them, I say, look, I know you're not here. Let me get you a list. And I will be more than happy to, do a walkthrough for you, to send you a video, whatever it takes to make that sale and to make them comfortable enough. To be able to go through that process. Sometimes, to be honest with you, I don't even meet them until the closing table, which is crazy, and these aren't $200,000 houses. These are 600 plus kind of houses. So it's a lot of pressure, but, of course, you've got to do the best that you can.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, is there ever any type of, is it more like virtual shopping, or do you take them out and actually do some virtual, walkthroughs? How does that typically look?
Yeah, it depends on what the client is looking for. But if you tell me you want me to drive by the schools, your favorite restaurant, what's around there. You want a kind of like a bird's eye view, whatever the client is looking for. We're obviously more than happy and open to do that for them.
Well, and you've been in the community, so you know the area, and I think that's what's so important about working with an experienced real estate group, is when it does come time, based on the initial fact finding that you have with that consumer, what they're looking for, and you can kind of go into that Rolodex of knowledge up there and go, this is the area that's going to best suit them, right?
Right.
Yeah, families, if you have children, those are the kind of questions,
Sure.
That's how I screen it out. Do they have children? Do they not have children? Are they military? Are they people that want to be more in the city or more in the country? So we screen every person.
Yeah, talking about military, so Lance is actually a veteran. He was in the Army, and you can talk a little bit more about that. But from a background,
Thanks for your service,
from a
Lance.
nursing background, and Lance was, besides being a veteran, he was also a social worker. So, when it comes to the psychology thing, I think we have a really nice advantage when it comes to that.
That's fantastic. Well, and a question we always like to ask is, you guys seem like you've got great chemistry together. What's that family life like outside of the business? Is it all business with you two? Or, what do you guys do when you're not selling real estate?
Yeah. We just got back from Vegas, so, it is okay to take some time off. Being a married young couple still, it is nice to get out once in a while, and, still enjoy each other's times. It's a little hard sometimes, and I guess very chaotic, when you live together, you work together, you're with each other 24/7. But we also have two beautiful girls, 9 and 13, that also need our time. They're very heavy into sports, so we're like every other typical family.
It is rare in this business to see a husband and wife that can be a self-employed individual in this.
Right.
Huge, because there's a lot of divorce in this type of business. But her and I, we do it, and we just do it.
Well, and the amount of volume that you guys do, I'm surprised y'all even have a family. I thought y'all just work 24/7.
And what's funny, because our girls, they'll hear us on the phone sometime, and I think they already know. Mama and Daddy have to work. We don't get a paycheck like everybody else every 2 weeks, so we got to make it work. But it's still you have to split your time evenly, because to me and to both of us, I guess I could say is. Family time is extremely important for us.
Yeah, and don't get us wrong. It is. This is not like it was 5 years ago. Okay, it is an up and down roller coaster right now. A few years ago, everybody was skyrocketing. We were too, and we still are. We're doing a lot more business than the majority of the agents out there, but it is a tough market.
Right.
Close on time with Click and Close Mortgage and our 21-day close guarantee. If we don't close your loan in 21 days or less, we will pay up to $3,000. If you'd like to know more about our 21-day close guarantee, Click the link below. Close on time with Click and Close.
It's very hard.
You are. Well, you guys are, you're success partners, you know, and you're success partners in business, but you're success partners in life too. And you're right. It takes a lot of balance there, right? To be able to know, hey, this is work and this is home life. But it sounds like you guys do it and you do it very, very well. And you've got the two girls back there. And I'm sure if they were here right now, they'd have nothing but amazing things to say about mom and dad. They know what you guys are doing to give them the successful life that you do.
Yeah, we're hoping one day instead of, spending thousands of dollars in college, they'd want to join the team and continue.
Unless they get a full ride scholarship for sports or something.
That was my next question. Have they gotten to that point where they're coming to the open houses and enjoying the realtor life?
We have done a few videos. Actually, there's one that we posted on Facebook a long time ago when they were both little, and they were like, hey, do you want to buy a house? It was like, it got like the most views. It was so cute.
100%. Yeah. As much time as the kids spend on social media these days, you could make them your social media manager.
So Gabby and Lance, I'm gonna throw out a quick question for you that I call my Oprah moment question. So you ready? Y'all may have the same answer, or y'all might have a different answer. You may get a prize, Lance, depending on what it is.
There will be a prize.
There will be a prize.
There will be a prize.
So, thus far during your real estate experience or whatever, what's the one achievement or moment that you're most proud of? It could be something together, or it could be something individually. I'm curious to know each of your answers.
I think she's going to say the same thing. I was the number one buyer's agent for, I want to say the entire, I think I was the whole greater New Orleans area. I was the number one buyer's agent with the most units sold as a buyer's agent. Also volume and commission. It's funny, I beat the guy by like $1,000 in commission. Him and I were like neck and neck to the very, very end. And I got a big award for doing that. So, I mean, if that's what you're looking for award-wise, stuff like that, then that would probably be my number one. And to be able to run this and keep this going with her and keep moving along.
Yeah.
So for me, my first year when I first got into real estate, I actually got the second place of Rookie of the Year for my office, which to me was really huge because, I mean, how many people even get, fifth place in that category? Last year, together, that for individually, for me, that was a great achievement, because it made me work harder. And I was like, because at first I was like, I can't sell anything. I've been in the nursing field for over 10 years, that's not my cup of tea. And I think it kind of, I don't know, it just pushed me further that, to be able to say, hey, I can do this. Not only that, I think the flexibility for me as a wife, as a mother, is really huge and very important. And then as far as us as a team, so last year we did, was it platinum? So our office has different levels, and we usually get platinum every year, but I think last year was it was more than platinum.
I think they call it sapphire.
Yeah, we got sapphire, which is like a pretty high level for our company.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So let's talk about, real estate's known for, I guess, sales, but you have a nursing background, and Lance has a military background, but social work. So what's your real estate superpower, guys? Let's talk about that.
Yeah, it's the communication, the organization, the empathy you can have for people. Because I did child protection. I didn't do the easy social work. So I was in child protection.
Oh, man.
So I did that.
Thank you for your service there too.
Yeah, thanks, man. It was wild. And that's why I decided to move on to real estate.
Yeah.
But I think that goes for both of us because that's kind of field it is.
I mean, at the end of the day is, you have to love what you do. I've always said, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it right. And I'm going to do it, honestly and humbly. People will notice that. There's a million realtors you can call. But at the end of the day, I think it's important for one, just to take the time to listen to somebody, listen to their needs, listen to what they're looking for, and just treat them as it was a family member or a best friend. It's no different than how you would treat your family.
or you would hope to treat your family.
Yeah, of course.
That's your superpower. That's your superpower. That's why you're so successful.
Well, it goes back to communication, right? You know, he said communication, but she's listening. That's the two forms of communication. You know, being able to listen and being able to communicate effectively. And clearly, you guys are phenomenal at it. And that's one of the reasons why you're having such great success. But one more question I want to ask, and this, I always we've kind of covered this, but I think there may be a moment in this journey that you've had in real estate that made you say, this is exactly why I want to do this? Is there anything you can pinpoint that you were reminded of that says, man, when this happened, I knew this is the industry that I should be in?
That's a tough question, to be honest. I mean, it could go either way. I mean, there was a couple that I had, an older couple. I love elderly people, or the older crowd. I seem to get along with them more than I do my own age. I'm a classic car guy. I've got classic cars that I love and that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of like, I was born in the wrong age, I guess you can say.
That's for sure.
But yeah, there's just this one couple that I really do. I've always enjoyed the transaction, and he's passed away now. So that's kind of like one of those kind of memories that I had with this guy. He reminded me of my grandfather. But he died, and then like a year later, she had a stroke. So it's just the certain people, and I guess that's the social work in me, to be honest. But I don't know if that answers your question, but that's kind of what why I'm in the business.
It does, because what you said is you love to help people, and that's why you do it. You love to help people, and part of that is getting them into their most prized possession, which is their home, right? And that's important. So, how about you, Gabby? What is it that drives you? What's that driving passion that you have?
Well, I mean, you always meet a lot of very interesting and great people along the way. I have a few clients that I can think of that were pretty amazing. But for me, I think the most important is giving back, being able to give to charities. Three of my top ones are St. Jude's, of course. We have the New Orleans mission here that helps with domestic violence and drug abuse and things like that. We've got the Cancer Society. I personally lost my mother coming about 18 years now. She was 41 and she passed away with cancer. So that's really close to my heart, and it's, to me, it's, I don't care how much money you make, but I think it is so important and such a blessing to be able to give to other charities as well.
That's huge. I share the same passion towards the breast cancer foundations. I lost my grandmother there and my stepfather with brain cancer. So we share something in common there, and we do donate. We actually donate every file we do to the Susan G. Komen Foundation here in Dallas towards breast cancer awareness. So we share that, but I think they actually revealed their true superpower. They care. You guys are givers. You want to be able to give back, and you're utilizing, your special skill sets in communication to give back, and that's amazing. And that's why we want to bring, people like you here on the show, because you're out there, you're doing things that are amazing, and I think a lot of people they discount the what goes into the realtor lifestyle and what you guys have to put forth to be able to serve those communities. And a lot of the times there's certainly financial gain, but that's not what the great agents that are out there, that's not what they're doing it for. They're doing it because they care and they want to give, and that's what you guys do. And I'm honored to have an opportunity to spend an afternoon with you, getting to know a little bit more about what you guys do and how you do it. So thank you for what you do, and thank you for coming on the show and sharing everything with us today.
Thank you.
100%. Well, guys, as much as we'd love to keep you out here all day, we know that you have other families to serve. Is there anything that we didn't ask you today that we should have?
No, I think we're good. This is Gabby and Lance Williams, Team Unique. If you would like to see a house, or if I can help you in any way, you can reach me at 985-400-4224. And we also have a website, which is www.searchuniquehomesnola.com.
And our email address is LG, like Lance and Gabby, lgteamunique@gmail.com. And my number's the same as hers, but with the 3 at the end, 985-400-4223.
Perfect. Well, guys, we'll make sure we put that down in the post on this. So when folks want to find you, they can. And we certainly know they're going to want to find the Team Unique here. Gabby and Lance, you guys are absolutely amazing. And keep doing all the amazing things you guys are doing out there. We appreciate you and what you do, for the communities you serve. So thank you guys so much for being here today. David, anything you'd like to say before we wrap this one up?
Man, I just know if I'm buying a house in the New Orleans area, there's only one couple I'm calling. That's Gabby and Lance to find me a house. And if you're bilingual, there's a bonus. Call Gabby and Lance if you're looking in the New Orleans area.
Don't call Lance, though. It sounds like he's not quite as polished as Gabby.
I'd rather talk to Gabby, too. Good point.
Anyways, well, guys, again, amazing having you here today. I'm Devin Dubuc.
I'm David Nguyen.
And we're your real estate success partners. If you want to find us, you can check us out at realestatesuccesspartner.com. Again, that's realestatesuccesspartner.com. Or if you want to listen to us, we're going to be on all those major platforms, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio. There's 20 or 30 of them. But we really love it if you come over to YouTube at the Dubuc team and watch the podcast. And there you can make comments and you can give us 5-star reviews. We love those. But what we'd really appreciate is the subscribes. Until the next time, we'll see you then.
Bye, guys.